What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is officially San Diego Comic-Con week, so I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to take a look back at all of last year's Funko San Diego Comic-Con exclusives to see how they're trending in value a full 1 year later, and hopefully this video will give you some insight as to which 2025 Funko San Diego Comic-Con exclusives you should move up at the top of your wish list as things that you should consider as priority, while some other things you should probably wait to pick up later on so you can get them at a cheaper price. Whether you're going to San Diego Comic-Con or not, make sure you guys are here with us live at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time this upcoming Thursday, because we will be live for the shared exclusive drop happening on Funko's website. So don't miss out. It's going to be a blast. We always go live for all of the new exclusives, whether it's the Box of Fun or just the newest, latest Comic-Con items dropping on Funko's website. It's a really fun live stream, and hope to see as many of you guys there as possible, even though I know it's going to be very early in the morning. So let's jump into the hottest and most popular items that we got from last year's catalog. I will not be covering every single item, so if you drop down in the comments, hey, you missed this item or you missed this pop, you're probably correct. I do not have time, and this video would be way too long to cover every single item trending in value, so I just selected the 17 items that I thought were the most desired from last year. So looking at the first one here, we're going to take a look at all of the limited pieces first, starting off with the Diamond 3,000 piece Grand Admiral Thrawn. This one hurt my soul because I just don't think most Star Wars pops look good Diamond, but whatever. Funko decided to make Thrawn Diamond. This one, interestingly enough, started off pretty strong out of the gate. A lot of people wanted this one. It was trending for $300. However, today you can get him for $100, and I would venture to say that that is almost $80 too much. I don't like this pop. I am surprised that it's still in the triple digits, but hey, that's apparently what it's selling for. Also, disclaimer, we are using HobbyDB via Pop Price Guide for all of our values. Unfortunately, Pop Price Guide has just become increasingly inaccurate and less of a source that we can truly rely on for up-to-date values. However, it's all we have, so it's just the only tool that we have at the moment. Hopefully another website or another price source pops up soon. Next up, we have the 3,000 piece Zero with glasses. This one happened to glow in the dark. Just like with the Thrawn, Zero also had a common non-variant counterpart that was also a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive for 2024, which I hated how they did that. This one is super cheap, despite it being 3,000 pieces. It started out pretty good out of the gate last year, selling for a peak of $105 on the aftermarket. However, today, here in 2025, you can grab it for a whopping $35. That is crazy. A limited piece of a semi-popular Disney character. I wouldn't say that Zero is too well known, but he's definitely not A team, maybe not B team. I would say he's a solid C team performer here for Disney as a whole. Just crazy that even though he's a limited piece, you can get him for only $35, $20 above retail. Next up, we have another Disney character here. This one was twice as limited, coming in at 1,500 pieces. This is Baymax with bandages. Another, I would say, solid C-team character here, coming in from Big Hero 6. This one also had a non-variant common San Diego Comic-Con exclusive counterpart. This one came out pretty strong at $175 out of the gate. However, you can now get them for around $75. You got a little bit of a boost here in January, but $75 for a 1,500 piece. Now, remember, this is a larger pop, so I think larger pops, whether they're limited or not limited, they do scare away some people just because they take up more space on your shelf, but still pretty cheap for a 1,500 piece only a year later. Next up, moving into the only Freddy Funko that we got for last year's convention. Unfortunately, we're not even getting one Freddy Funko Pop for this year's convention. The only Freddy sighting that we have is a little bitty 4-pack, but that's really unfortunate. The Mayor Freddy that we got last year was also limited to 3,000 pieces, just like the Thrawn and the Zero. This one was not as popular as I thought it was going to be. I really like the way they did it. He does not have a crown, which makes the Freddy a little bit more unique. He has the top hat with the crown on the top hat, and he's got the key, like the key to the city kind of vibe. This one started off very strong at $125 out of the gate. However, today you can get them for only $41, which I think is extremely low, but there are a lot of Freddys now. I just think that this one is a little bit more unique than some others, but with him not being an IP character, I think that plays heavily into why he's not as expensive as I think he should be. Next up, we had the Roller Drive-In Franny. She was twice as limited as the Freddy, coming in at 1,500 pieces. This was our second Franny ever, besides the Stewardess Franny that we got for C2E2 last year. This one came out of the gate very strong at a peak of $220 on the secondary market. However, you can get her now for only $70. And if you're a Franny fan, I would highly encourage you, go pick this up, because I think the hype for Franny is very low right now. However, just like there was no hype for a decade for Freddy, I think that there are going to be a lot of people who come into Funko over the next few years who are going to want to go back and collect the older Frannys, including this one. So if you don't have this one yet for your collection, I think $70 is a great price. You could probably even find it a little bit cheaper than that. Next up, we had the third of the mascot trio here, also coming in at 1,500 pieces, the Pizzeria Proto, which I think that this is easily one of the best Proto the Dog Pops we've gotten. Unfortunately, Proto, out of the three mascots with Freddy, Franny, and Proto, he is by far the least popular, and his prices reflect that. He came out of the gate at a high of $125. However, now you can get him for only $34, so another extremely cheap limited piece from last year's San Diego Comic-Con. Next up, it gets even worse with the limited pieces. We have Protozoa. This was I would say this is like a Z-Team character from Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century here from Disney. This was limited to 4,000 pieces. It pretty much doesn't matter. You can get this one for practically retail. Now, this is where the inaccuracies with Pop Price Guide really shine through. This one, they have pending, or they have, excuse me, trending at $30. However, I went over to eBay and saw that there are several of them who have sold in the last few months for right around $15. In fact, Pop Price Guide right here has the last recorded sale as January 17th for $14.99. How is the value at $30 with the last one sold for $15 for essentially retail? So this is not an accurate listing. Next up, let's talk about Voltron. Voltron was another larger pop, limited to 5,000 pieces. There was a shared sticker as well as a con sticker, so 2,500 pieces for each sticker variant here. I'm just going to focus on the con sticker for today's video. Came out of the gate at a peak of 130, and now it's trending for 100. It did hit a low of 75, so it has been trending upward over the last few months, and I would venture to say that's because we did get another Voltron that was black and white, and we have a Jumbo Chan Voltron that's dropping for this year's San Diego Comic-Con. So there is some Voltron hype out there, and I think $100 is actually pretty high for this, with it being 5,000 pieces. Technically 2,500 if you only care about the actual San Diego Comic-Con con sticker with that piece count on it. Let's talk about our last limited piece from last year's San Diego Comic-Con with the Project Fred Deadpool. This one was limited to 750 pieces. Thank God it appears that Project Fred is no longer with us. It is super dead. This one retailed for $295. Now, this one is just... this listing is just everything wrong with Pop Price Guide right now. So they have this one valued at $320. Also, keep in mind with this Project Fred Deadpool, for whatever reason, there's a shared sticker and a con sticker. I don't know why the Funko did this. Like, why put a sticker on the box? It's the same exact figure. It's the same exact box and everything. But whatever, they decided to put the sticker on the box that doesn't have a window, that you don't even display it with the box intact and everything. But this one retailed $295. They have this one currently listed trending for $320. And if you look at the recent sales that they've captured, the most recent one that they have is from October 13th of last year. It's been a long time since anyone has done their job here on this item and captured a recent sale. So I did their job for them, and I went over to eBay. The most recent one sold on July 5th for best offer accepted, so we know it was at least less than $200. There was another one that sold for $115 on June 24th, another one that sold for $100 with best offer accepted on June 18th, and then another one for $190 June 3rd. So this is selling for, I would venture to say, anywhere from $100 to $150, probably somewhere around there, but nowhere near the 320 mark that they have this one pegged. Now, I'm sure someone in the comments is going to point out that none of the ones that have recently sold on eBay have the con sticker, but still, the fact that you can get the shared sticker for so cheap, and Pop Price Guide currently has the shared sticker listed for $220. So this listing on Pop Price Guide also inaccurate. Let's move on. Let's talk about the Batman Superman Fusion Pop. We are getting a few Batmans here for this year's San Diego Comic-Con. No Superman though, which is weird because we just got the brand new James Gunn Superman movie in theaters, but that's cool. The con sticker here is trending for $70 with the con sticker, con 70 shared coming in at $24, which I think is actually pretty good. Now, this is a more unique Batman pop than we've seen in previous years, so I think it has a lot going for it. Also, it has the very unique Batman and Superman fused logo actually on the box, so I think that helps attract maybe some comic collectors or some other people who want this specific Batman Superman character for their collection. This character is also from a recent run of DC Comics, from what I understand, so that could also be why the con sticker is going for a little bit more than you would have thought. Next up, let's talk about the best Star Wars exclusive that we got this year, and you guys are going to be pretty shocked by the values for this one. Unfortunately, we are not getting any Star Wars exclusives for this year's San Diego Comic-Con, so not sure why that's the case, not sure why Funko hates Star Wars right now, but nonetheless, let's take a look at the Hallway Rampage Darth Vader, where he unfortunately sliced through quite a few Rebel troopers on that Tantive hallway scene there. Now, this one, believe it or not, has actually increased in value over the last few months. It started out of the gate for the con sticker at around $75, $80. However, today it's going for $100 for the con sticker, which I actually think is well suited for this pop. I did not give this pop the love that it deserved last year when it came out. I think I was just too hyper focused on how bad the Thrawns were, but this Vader was a sleeper. And even the shared sticker, I mean, the shared sticker came out of the gate with a peak of 48, now going for 44, so even the shared sticker is holding a little bit of value, which is nice to see. Moving on, now we got a couple duds to talk about. So this next pop right here was based off a meme. I thought this pop was going to do very well. Unfortunately, it did not. This was Kermit holding the mug of tea here. Now this, unfortunately, again, we have an inaccurate listing with the con sticker listed as trending for $15. It did have a peak of 45. I think it's actually a little bit less than $15. As you can see, the last one sold for $10.50. And then the shared sticker here being valued at $25 is just highly inaccurate. Funko is actually tucking these shared sticker Kermits in some people's $5 mystery pop boxes over the last few years or a few months from from the Funko shop. So this one is probably worth $5. Con sticker is probably worth around 10. Moving on to one of the better exclusives that we got last year, in my opinion. You don't see a lot of Wizard of Oz pops these days. We got the Wicked Witch with Winged Monkey, so pretty awesome that you got that little bonus buddy pop. The original wave of Wizard of Oz pops are very expensive. Con sticker coming in at 36, shared coming in at 28. I would say that's pretty fair for that one. Next up from Yu-Gi-Oh, we had the Elemental Hero Flame Wingman. This is a super cool pop, lots of detail. Yu-Gi-Oh fans, you definitely got a nice one here for last year's con. Con sticker coming in at $42, while the shared sticker coming in at $16, so pretty good there. This is where anime really kicks butt and shows you why Funko has gone all in on anime and essentially forgotten about most other themes. From Demon Slayer, we had the Shinobu Kacho pop here, probably said that wrong. The con sticker trending for $95. 12 months after the con. Out of the gate, it hit a peak of 140 and then kind of settled out at $60 and then had a little bit of a resurgence earlier this year. So that's pretty good to see. Shared sticker, there is a pretty big gap between the con and shared. Shared is only $29, so if you need this character for your collection, which I believe this was a debut pop for this character last year, shared sticker might be the way to go so you can save some money. Next up from One Piece. One Piece continues to defy sales and hype with the community, especially from all the anime fans. Con sticker coming in at $90. Out of the gate, this hit a peak of 150, so it's come down a little bit, but still holding pretty strong 12 months after the con, while the shared sticker is going for 28. So once again, shared stickers the way to go, and from what I could see, I think you can even get the shared sticker a little bit cheaper. So if you just want this figure for your collection, shared sticker is definitely the way to go. And the last one I want to talk about, because we can't leave out Marvel. We do have a lot of Marvel stuff coming up this weekend, especially with the big release of Fantastic Four First Steps in theaters. We had Spider-Boy here. Now, Spider-Boy, con sticker going for 36. I think that's a couple dollars high. It's probably going for around 30-ish. shared sticker is definitely inaccurate. This is another one that we got in our $5 mystery pop boxes from the Funko shop. So I think they need to update their sales here. They have the last one as of March 15th for $18. I would say that this one is probably a little bit cheaper than that. But what do you guys think of all the items that we just covered from last year's San Diego Comic-Con? I think for the most part, they're all trending at what you'd expect them to trend. I think it's actually pretty cool to see the trends on the secondary market because you can clearly see what people want and what people don't want. So you can see that there is some highlights with some spots in regards to anime. For the most part, everything did go down, even the limited pieces. And then you had another bright spot with Star Wars. So shout out to all my fellow Star Wars collectors out there. You know, you guys did a great job picking up that Vader. It definitely deserved to be purchased and collected, and it's a real shame that we're not getting any Star Wars exclusives for this year's San Diego Comic-Con. But I did not provide you guys with any Monday motivation yesterday, so we're going to be bringing you guys that motivation today. And today's Monday motivation, or today's Tuesday motivation, is going to tie right into the whole purpose and premise of this video. If you want something outside of a few limited pieces and very hot items from this year's 2025 catalog, I would highly encourage you guys to wait. I think this year's catalog overall is much better than the catalog that we just ran through really quick. I also did a full catalog comparison video here on the channel a few days ago, so if you guys want to go check that video out, feel free to do so. But 2024, definitely inferior to 2025 San Diego Comic-Con catalog. I think this year the clamshells are going to be hot. Huckleberry Hound is going to be hot. Overall, we're getting a lot more limited pieces, and I think we're getting a few more characters that people really want to buy and collect. So from that aspect, I think we are going to be seeing higher sales out of the gate, but I still predict that what has happened over the last 10 years is going to happen again, where you're going to see a majority of the items from this year's San Diego Comic-Con go down in value. Some are going to go down in value drastically over the next few weeks, some in the few months ahead. So if you want something, just be patient. I think that if you can wait out the FOMO, you are going to save yourself a lot of money in the long run. So don't be afraid to put your phone down, you know, walk away from eBay, walk away from whatnot. If you see something that you really want just getting bid up, you will have an opportunity to get it. I guarantee you. I've been collecting for over a decade. I have some extremely limited pieces in my collection. I have some extremely hard to find and rare figures that only a handful of people have. It's not by mistake. It's strategic. I do not have a lot of disposable income, just like most of you guys. I have to be careful with my money, and I have to budget. I have to take what I have and make the most of it so I can enjoy collecting without putting myself in debt. And that's something that I think every collector should be focused on. No matter what your budget is, you should not be going into debt. You should not be paying more for something just because there's a lot of other people that want it as soon as it hits the secondary market. I really think there's a lot of beauty and a lot of success to those who wait, you know, for something to come down in price and then pick it up, then you can enjoy it. So just execute a little bit of patience, and it will save you some money in the long run. Trust me, I've been doing it for a long time. So that's going to do it for today's video, guys. If you enjoyed it, make sure to smash that like button. We will be live Thursday morning. You know, once again, make sure to go set your notification reminders for that live stream. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I am excited to see what is going to sell out like that on the Funko Shop, what is going to stick around, and you know, what is going to be available even after the con is over. So with that being said, don't stop shooting until you score, and we'll see you guys next time.